All right, ready to jump into something a little different today.
Always up for an adventure. What you got?
Well, we're heading to Faro, Portugal. You know the Algarve.
Oh, yeah, beautiful beaches. Right. I've heard good things.
Yeah, the Faro's got a twist. Think beaches meet history with a side of, well, let's just say a few surprises.
Ooh, I like surprises. Lay it on me. What makes Faro so different from the rest of the Algarve?
Okay, so picture this. Roman walls, a cathedral built on, get this, mosque ruins. You practically trip over history there.
Wow, that's a serious blend of cultures, not your typical beach town vibe.
Exactly. Now, you mentioned beaches, and Faro's got those, but there's this place, Villa Adentro.
Villa Adentro.
Yeah, the old town. It's like walking into a postcard. Whitewashed buildings, pops of color, flowers everywhere. You know the deal.
Classic charming European town. Gotcha. Cobblestone streets, I bet.
Oh, you know it. Perfect for getting lost in. And speaking of getting lost, there's this spot called the Arco de Raposo.
Arco de Raposo. The resting arch, maybe? Sounds intriguing already.
Right? It was like the entrance to the medieval city, guarded by towers and everything. Legend has it a king chilled there after, conquering Faro.
Pretty sweet victory lap, I guess. Hang out under a giant archway, soak it all in.
Right. But here's where things get a little, spooky.
Ooh, hit me with the spooky.
So there's this love story, right? Christian knight, Moorish maiden, forbidden love, jealous dad, the whole shebang.
Classic. So where does the spooky come in?
Well, they say the arch is cursed because of this whole tragic love affair.
A cursed arch. Okay, now I'm really intrigued. That's not something you hear every day.
And speaking of things you don't hear every day, ready for this one?
Bring it on.
There's a chapel made of bones.
Hold up. A chapel made of bones, like human bones.
Yep, over 1,200 skeletons of Carmelite monks. Walls, arches, the works. It's called the Capella dos Ossos, the Bone Chapel.
Whoa, okay, that's definitely not your average chapel visit. Why would they, do that?
Well, think of it as a reminder, I guess, about life and death and all that.
Memento mori, huh? A little morbid, but hey, it's certainly effective.
Exactly. Okay, let's lighten things up a bit. Remember those beaches we talked about?
Oh yeah, gotta get some of that classic Algarve sunshine.
Well, how about a deserted island? 7 kilometers of pure bliss. One restaurant, crystal clear water.
Wait, a deserted island. Sign me up. What's it called? How do you even get there?
It's called Ilha Deserta, which, you guessed it, means deserted island. And you catch a boat from Faro's harbor. About a 40-minute ride.
40 minutes of pure anticipation sounds like the perfect way to start a vacation.
Right. But hey, let's not forget about the main line. Beaches are great, but there's also this incredible nature park near Faro.
Ooh, nature park. What's it like? Mountains, forests? What are we talking?
More like lagoons, salt marshes, those kinds of vibes. It's called Ria Formosa Natural Park. And it's huge, like over 170 square kilometers.
Wow, 170 square kilometers. That's massive. What kind of wildlife do they have there?
Oh, all sorts. You can spot flocks of birds, maybe even some dolphins if you're lucky. It's like super biodiverse.
Okay, that sounds amazing. I'm picturing flamingos and herons and all kinds of cool birds. How do you explore it? Hiking, boats?
All of the above. You can hike, bike, take a boat tour, even kayak. Imagine paddling through those calm waters at sunset.
Okay, you're painting quite the picture here.
Right. And the thing is, we've only just scratched the surface. There's still so much more to discover about Faro.
I'm already hooked. You've sold me on this place.
Well, hold on tight because there's more where that came from. We'll be right back with more Faro adventures after a quick break.
It's funny, right? We were talking about all these hidden gems and surprises.
Yeah.
Faro itself is kind of a hidden gem in a way. Like people think Algarve, they think beaches.
Right.
But Faro's not so much more going on. It's like this little secret waiting to be discovered.
Absolutely. And it's not just Faro itself, right? Like the whole surrounding area has so much to offer.
Oh, yeah. Tons of cool spots within easy reach.
Speaking of which, our source mentions a day trip to Tavira.
Ah, Tavira, yeah, it's lovely.
What's it like?
It's often called like a mini Faro, similar vibes, but on a smaller scale.
Okay, so we're talking charming streets, whitewashed buildings.
All that good stuff, cobblestone streets, colorful doors, flowers everywhere, you name it.
And I bet there's another castle to explore.
You bet there is. It's a bit smaller than Faro's castle, but it's got this amazing view from the top.
Okay, so castles, charming streets. What else sets Tavira apart?
Well, one thing that's really unique to Tavira is its Roman bridge.
A Roman bridge.
Yeah, a real deal Roman bridge. It goes over the Gelone River.
Wow, imagine walking across something that old.
I know, right? It's like stepping back in time.
Talk about history coming to life. So we've got castles, bridges, charming streets, and what about food? Any culinary highlight?
Oh, the food is fantastic, especially if you're a seafood lover.
Algarve's known for that, right?
Absolutely fresh seafood everywhere you look.
So what should we be trying?
Well, first off, you gotta try the cataplana.
Cataplano, what is that?
It's this amazing seafood stew cooked in a special copper pot, also called a cataplana.
Okay, so clams, mussels, fish, all that good stuff.
Yep, all simmered together in a delicious tomato-based sauce with some veggies and herbs.
That sounds amazing. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it.
And you'll forget the pastel de nata, of course.
Those are a must-have in Portugal.
Absolutely. They're basically a national treasure.
So we've talked about the sights, the sounds, the tastes.
Hmm.
What about the overall vibe of Faro? What's it like to actually be there?
You know, it's got this really relaxed and welcoming atmosphere.
Okay, I like that.
It's not too big, not too small. It's just the right size to feel comfortable and manageable.
So you can easily explore on foot.
Exactly. You can stroll through the streets, pop into a cafe, enjoy the sunshine.
Sounds idyllic.
It really is, and the people are so friendly and welcoming.
I was going to ask about that. Is it mostly tourists or is there a strong local feel?
Oh, there's definitely a strong local feel. You'll see families out and about, people going about their daily lives.
That's good to hear. I like that mix of local life and tourism.
Yeah, it gives it a more authentic vibe.
Right, right. It's not just a tourist trap.
Exactly, and what's really cool is how Faro blends the old and the new.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking about that earlier with the Roman walls and everything.
Yeah, you've got these ancient ruins right next to modern buildings. It's a really interesting contrast.
Like a living timeline of history.
That's a great way to put it, and it's that blend that gives Faro its unique charm.
So we've covered a lot of ground, but there's still more to uncover.
Always more to discover.
What other hidden gems are we missing?
Well, one place I'd recommend is the Lethis Theater.
Lethis Theater, what's that?
It's a beautifully restored 19th century theater. It's stunning.
Wow, imagine seeing a show there.
I know, right? It's a real step back in time.
And for the history bucks out there.
There's the Municipal Museum housed in a 16th century convent.
A convent?
Yeah, it's got this incredible collection of artifacts from Roman mosaics to medieval sculptures.
Wow, that's a pretty diverse collection.
It really is. It's a great place to learn about the history and art of the region.
So much history in this one city.
Absolutely. And for those wondering about the practical side of things, getting to Faro is super easy.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask about that. What's the best way to get there?
Faro has its own international airport with flights from all over Europe.
Convenient.
Super convenient, and once you're there, getting around is a breeze.
The city center's walkable. We talked about that.
Exactly, and there's a good bus system that can take you further afield.
And in terms of costs, is it an expensive place to visit?
You know, it's actually quite affordable compared to other popular European destinations.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, you can find accommodation to suit all budgets, and the food is reasonably priced.
So accessible, affordable, and full of surprises.
That's Faro in a nutshell.
Anything else people should know before visiting?
Yeah, one thing to keep in mind is that Faro is a very multicultural city.
We touched on that with the different historical influences.
Right, it's got this fascinating blend of cultures that you can see in the architecture, the food, even the language.
It's like a melting pot of history.
Exactly, and that diversity is part of what makes Faro so special.
It's like a living tapestry.
Beautifully said.
All right, well, we've covered so much ground in this deep dive.
It's been quite the journey.
But there's still one more part to go.
I know, right? Can't wait to see what else we uncover.
We'll be right back with more Faro insights after a quick break. Don't go anywhere.
You know, we've talked about the history and the nature and the food,
Yeah.
but we haven't really touched on shopping yet.
Oh, right, good point.
If you're looking for souvenirs, Faro's got some pretty unique stuff.
Like what?
Well, they've got these beautiful ceramics and pottery.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those.
And, of course, you can't forget the azulejos.
Azulejos, those colorful tiles you see everywhere.
Exactly. They make great gifts or, a little something for yourself.
Yeah, I always love bringing back a little piece of the places I visit.
And for the foodies out there, Algarve is known for its almond sweets.
Ooh, almonds.
Yeah, all kinds of delicious treats, marzipan, almond cakes, you name it.
Okay, I'm sold on the almond trades. What about the best time to visit Faro?
Well, the Algarve got pretty mild climate year-round.
Oh.
But if you want that classic beach weather, May to September is your best bet.
Okay, makes sense. Lots of sunshine, warm water.
Exactly, but spring and autumn are great too.
Oh, yeah.
Fewer crowds, cooler temperatures, and you might even catch the almond trees in bloom.
Almond trees in bloom. That sounds amazing.
It is. It's like a sea of pink and white blossoms.
Wow, so really there's no bad time to visit.
Pretty much depends what you're looking for.
And getting there is easy. We talked about the airport.
Super easy, and once you're there, getting around is a breeze too.
Walkable city center, good public transportation.
Exactly. You've got options.
So you can easily explore Faro and the surrounding areas.
Precisely.
And what I really appreciate is how Faro has managed to keep that authentic feel.
Yeah, it hasn't been overrun by tourism.
Right, you can still experience that genuine Portuguese culture.
That slower pace of life, the warmth of the locals.
It's like stepping back in time, but with all the modern comforts.
I love that.
Me too. It's a special combination.
So we've learned a lot about Faro.
We have history beaches, nature, ghost stories.
Even a chapel made of bones?
Yeah, that one was a bit surprising.
To say the least.
But overall, it seems like Faro's a place that really offers something for everyone.
Absolutely. Whether you're a history buff, a nature lover, a foodie, or just looking for a relaxing getaway.
Well said. I think we've covered just about everything.
Yeah, I think we've given our listeners a pretty good taste of what Faro has to offer.
So to our listeners out there, if you're looking for an off-the-beaten-path destination that's full of surprises,
Faro might just be the perfect place for you.
be sure to check out the links in the show notes for more information.
And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive.
Until then, happy travels, everyone. Days.